Hello, everyone. Happy Wednesday to all of you, and also happy Valentine's. If I forgot to wish you happy Valentine's last week, this is Born to Shine being brought to you by Renu Dillon of Genius Kids and Radio Zindagi. Very happy to be here. This is a wonderful show that we started at the beginning of this year, thanks to Seba and Neeraj and, of course, Miss Ira over there and all their support for all the ideas that we come up with. And Born to Shine is a platform where we would like to feature the youth, and I call them youth from ages 5 to 25, who are doing something unique and interesting out there. And we don't want to talk about the academics here. The academics is another subject. We want to talk about anything else that they're doing, whether it's sports, music, nonprofits, politics, getting into acting, whatever it is. This is the platform where we would like to showcase them. And every week we bring you a young youth who shares what their vision is, what their dreams are. And today we have with us a wonderful young boy. I've been following him and his dad and all their fun activities for the past few years. And we have with us Saicharan. Hi, Sai, how are you?
I'm doing good. How are you
Good.
doing?
Very good. Welcome to Born to Shine. And of course, we have with him his very proud dad. You can see who's beaming already. We have Nathan with us. Hi, Nathan. How are you?
I'm doing very good, Renu. So nice to be here. And it's always a pleasure speaking with you.
Thank you so much. And I don't think Nathan needs any introduction, of course. Nathan is very well known for Community Seva, which is a fabulous organization in the Bay Area. But we're going to find out how that started from Mr. Sai himself. So Sai, I'm so thrilled to have you on the show. And, and of course, let's welcome our RJ, Miss Ira, who always gives up her evenings to be with me. So thanks, Ira.
Well, thank you, Ms. Renu. Thank you for having me here, rather. And it's not really giving up anything. It's only, if there's anything, I'm only gaining anything by being here and, talking to these guests, talking to these amazing kids. And it's even, weird to call them kids because they're such overachievers at this young age.
Absolutely. So, Sai, let's talk about your journey. I know because I've known you for tennis, for what you do in tennis. So when did you first realize that you were really good at playing tennis?
So ever since I was 5, I always used to go to my brother's tennis lessons. Back then, I wasn't really old enough to hit on the courts yet. So I'd pick up balls from the court and hit on the fence. And right then, that instant, I really grasped and really loved how the sport worked. And over time, and 1 year later, I got to hit the first few balls on the tennis court at NorCal Tennis Academy. And instantly, I loved the sport and I loved everything about it.
So you continued on in tennis, and I know you had some amazing achievements. Can you tell us some of the things that you did?
So at age 10, I was the number 1 ranked player in the 10 and under for Northern California. I won an individual sectionals at 10 years old. And at age 12, I was in the top 50 for Northern California. And then age 14, I was also in the top 50 for Northern California.
Superb. And how old are you now?
I'm 16 years old now.
You're 16 years old. Great. So Nathan, let me ask you, when did you realize that Sai had this skill? Because I've also gone on tennis courts and tossed a few balls here and there, but I never became a tennis player. How did you know that he has some skills, some special skills?
The special skills, I would give the credit to his coach, who, I'm a layman to tennis, but his coach spotted him and said, this kid is something different, and he has a passion. He still has the passion to play tennis. So one ball after a few balls, he never stops, and he start playing, and his skills were very natural. And that's when they said, okay, we got to really put investment on time and money on this kid who can do wonders. I'm keeping my fingers on that.
Wonderful. So you're still practicing and playing, Sai?
Yeah, every day.
Okay. So every day, wonderful. So COVID didn't stop you from getting out to the tennis court?
No, during the lockdown. Yeah, during the lockdown, I was doing exercises before, and then they allowed tennis courts to be open. So then I went to practice.
Wonderful. So what do you aspire to do in tennis? Where do you see yourself?
I see myself going to a good tennis college to play for their team. And after that, I'll go to a few men's tournaments to see how I can compete pro level.
Wonderful. So you plan to pursue this quite seriously?
Yeah.
That's wonderful. That's superb. Absolutely. So now, in addition to that, I know you're very active in Boy Scouts as well, right?
Yeah.
So you've been doing a lot of things with Boy Scouts. You started with so tell us a bit about your journey there as well.
So I've been in Boy Scouts for 5 years now, and I started off as a Cub Scout, which is like the youth level of Boy Scouts, where we just started learning about scouting. And then I graduated from Cub Scouts in 6th grade and moved on to Boy Scouts, where it was more real life camping, learning more skills, and starting to learn more about leadership. So over the years of like being in my troop, my Boy Scout troop, I gained several leadership positions, which helped me become a better leader throughout the year.
Wonderful. So do you encourage families out there to enroll their children into a Boy Scouts program? Do you feel that it's a very valuable skill that you learn?
Yeah, one of the leadership positions I got was a troop guide, which I would help recruit more like scouts in. And once the new scouts joined our troop, I would like help them around and make them feel like welcome in our troop.
And now we're talking about when you were about 7 years old, you used to go with your parents to distribute lunch, right, to homeless individuals in downtown. And then I guess, tell me this whole story about what sparked your dad to start Community Saver. What is it? Why were you so intrigued? I mean, most 7-year-olds would rather just play on their computer or iPad or, in that case, maybe tennis. What intrigued you to want to, continue to serve the homeless?
So when I was 7, like every Sunday, I used to go serve like hot pizza to homeless individuals in the St. James Park in downtown San Jose. So whenever I give them pizza, cookies, like it really shows excitement on their face, like they're getting their first meal of the day. And one week when we didn't go, because I had a tennis tournament that week, I was like confused on who else would go and serve them. Otherwise, they'll be hungry during that time. So I asked my dad, like, if we don't go this week, who else will? And that sparked like Community Saver.
Wonderful. So Nathan, do you feel that was like the inspiration, or had you already thought about Community Saver before? I mean, how did you come up with this?
No, definitely. I was not even thinking of starting an organization or anything like that. As I said, we used to go every Sunday, and several community members, joined the, Selfless Act, and we were serving. One Sunday, we were driving to a tennis tournament, and that's when he asked, who would be, these people will be standing in the park waiting for food, and we are not going there. Who would feed them? And that little kid's thoughtful, words, that spark really made me think, definitely, we need to do something. Even, if I am unable to go physically, the seva should continue. It should not stop because of one person. We need to involve more individuals so that more individuals can get benefit. And at the same time, more people also can give back. And that's when, it was in June 2013, Community Seva was formed.
And how many meals are you serving now on a weekly basis?
7.5 years into, I will give you an overall number. We have served over 190,000 meals. It's going to be 200K very soon. And before COVID, we were serving 2,500 a month. Now we are doing 2,000 a week right now.
Wow. So it's become 2,000 a week.
Since COVID, we never stopped. Since March 17, 2020, we have been serving every single day.
Every single day?
Every single day, even including weekdays, Monday to Sunday.
Because before it was like, I think every weekends, right?
It was only weekends. Now, everyone is working from home. Our amazing core volunteer team, they would be able to take 1 hour during their lunchtime and to do a contactless seva every day.
That's fabulous. That's absolutely amazing. So going back to you, Sai, I know you've done, you've written here about tasty treats. Tell me, what is tasty treats?
So during quarantine, like as a youth, I wanted to like take an initiative and create a project which would like help the unhoused seniors living in trailers in Oakland. So Tasty Treats is a project I created to help to create non-perishable, ready-to-eat food and pack them in grocery bags and donate them to these seniors. And these seniors don't have like a facility to cook. They only have a microwave and a small refrigerator in their RVs. So I began with this project by raising donations through a Facebook fundraiser, and I was able to raise over $2,300 to start the first drive of Tasty Treats. And after completing and packing all the goods at my house, I was able to like influence more youth volunteers in Community Seva to start more tasty treat projects.
Wonderful. So is that a continuing project that you're going to continue to do?
Yeah.
Very, very good. And then tell us also about the hygiene kit drive that you did. You've also done that with youth volunteers. What was that?
So this is a hygiene kit drive that we would donate to shelters in San Jose. This is where before COVID, a group of 10 youth volunteers met up, and we would have 10 hygiene items, and we would pack them in bags and donate 100 to each shelter.
Now, it's amazing, you know, a lot of people fear going to the homeless shelters. People sometimes have a misconception about homeless people, and they think, oh my God, if I'm going there, they're not going to want food from me. They're going to want money instead, or they just feel that the homeless are going to do something to them. How could you educate all of us in terms of overcoming this fear? What are your thoughts on this, and how come you don't get scared to go?
It's probably because I've been going there for a lot, even when I was younger. So I never like developed any kind of mindset. I went in there with an open mind, and they're actually really nice people. Once you talk to them and once you like help them, they're actually really nice people. So I feel like going in with an open mind and not thinking anything about it will help.
You know, I think this is also a question for Nathan. I mean, you know, when you started doing this, weren't you apprehensive?
Absolutely not. When you, as I said, and I echo his thing, when you go with the open mind, you just go with the, intention to just to help others. You don't think about anything else. And they're all very nice people. Unfortunately, they are on the other side of the table. They are very nice people, and situations and circumstances have put them on the other side.
Mm-hmm.
But otherwise, just go with them. And I'm telling you, once you go there and start giving, you will never stop giving. The amount of amount of thank you, God bless you, the gratification you receive, beyond words.
Wow. And how many 7-year-olds do we know who would actually think about other people's needs, and who would think, okay, if I'm not going, who would go there? So credit also goes to you, Nathan.
Yes, yes.
Congratulations.
There are, I would say there are several young kids who really wants to come forward and do it.
Wow.
This is an amazing community. I'm not just saying South Asian community. Everyone is really want to give back, and they don't know how to do it and where to do it. That's when the community seva platform exists. So people, youth volunteer can do it. Of course, the underlying, the disclaimer right now is no shelter is allowing any volunteers to come in.
Right.
Even otherwise, there are many shelters or with the age restrictions. So Sai is talking about a shelter where families live there with the kids. Mm-hmm. Only those shelters, the kids are allowed to go, say about 12 plus.
Okay, wonderful. Okay. And then tell us also, Sai, about the winter backpack. What was that project about?
So this was another youth-led project to help homeless individuals living in shelters during cold winters. This was started in 2017, where we pack blankets, towels, rain ponchos, gloves, socks, beanies, all in a backpack. Again, 10 youth volunteers met up in a house, and we completed over 1,000 backpacks during this drive, which we donated to several homeless shelters nearby.
That's, I listened to all these ideas from tasty treats, hygiene kit, winter backpack. And you won also the Silver Presidential Volunteer Award. I know that for over 100 hours of volunteering. You've also got the Sportsmanship Award. Where do you see yourself? I mean, what's your journey? We're interested to know. A young mind like yours started at 7, thinking about the homeless, got into tennis. Now is doing so many different things, even during COVID, when most kids that I see your age are sitting on iPads or sitting on.
Yeah.
Oh,
there was probably network issue. Yeah. I also wanted to, I also was just wondering about this one thing. I mean, Sai, since you, like Ms. Renu initially said, you need no introduction. You are already a pretty well-known person because of your tennis and the seva as well. So do you also think that, when you go out and ask people to come over and help you, help others, do you think your fame also plays a role, and it's easier for you to procure resources, get people to come together because of who you are? And do you also intend to do that in future when you want to play internationally, when you want to play do tennis and do sports? Do you think you're going to combine the two?
Yeah, I feel like being well known for doing something good always
Mm,
plays a big part in the future.
mm,
So you're like known to many other people, so they would want to help you to help others.
yeah.
So by being a good leader in community seva, I'm able to like influence and like gather more youth to like participate more in these activities. Like we first started with the winter backpack where we had less youth volunteer to complete the drives, and then as we moved on to the hygiene kit and now tasty treats, we have more and more youth that want to like step up and they
Mm,
want to help.
So
that's really
what's your
nice.
journey? What do you want to do when you go to after high school and college? What's your journey?
I want to continue what I'm doing right now. Like I don't want to stop like volunteering or helping. I always want to help out throughout my whole life. And tennis is something that's going to be with me throughout my whole life too. No matter if I'm professional or not, I'm always going to be playing tennis. Maybe I'll be coaching some tennis, or I'll always be intact with the sport, and I'll always be like helping others and trying to find new ways to help others.
So your dad shared a very interesting video with me, and it involved. I saw you helping people, and I also saw you doing something with tennis. Explain to me what that is, because when I repost this clip, I'm going to be posting that clip too with it.
So this actually happened during quarantine, where
Mm-hmm.
my dad was feeding homeless people living in RVs in Mountain View, where he met two boys, and they were playing tennis actually with a broken ball on a parking lot. So when my dad came home and like told me the story of what happened, it really like sparked something inside of me to help these boys. So their birthday was actually coming up 2 weeks later, but instead the next day we went to a local Target and we brought brand new tennis balls for these boys. And 2 weeks later on their birthday, we surprised them with a cake, a new shirt, and more new tennis balls so they can help. So it felt good to combine like my favorite sport and something I like to do, which is help people and like make a change in these two boys' lives.
That is really wonderful,
Yeah.
absolutely wonderful. Nathan, I'm sure you're very proud of your son. I can see you, you're smiling and you're very proud of him. What do you think you've done that has inspired him to be like this? And what's your message to parents out there? How can they motivate their kids to get off their iPhones and iPads and do something of meaning, something that's meaningful?
Thank you. Definitely, I'm very proud of Sai, and he's a, Sai, it's a blessed name in my family. I have two boys, both are Sai,
Okay.
and both are blessed kids in my life. And definitely he has done whatever best he could. He has not done wonders, but he has done whatever best he could within his ability, within his capability. That's I'm very proud of him. And I always believe, you don't have to. You should not be doing what you're doing within the four walls, and whatever you're doing, you start with your family first. I don't leave my family I go and do all the seva, but whatever we do, we start with the family. Even the initial humble beginning of serving the pizza start with the family, and then the organization. So your family is backbone of your life. You need to take your family wherever you go, whatever you do good, you take along with you. So when you do good and when you show you being an example, you are being, be kind of light to your family, you will be do to your community. And we always say this to all the parents, right? Anything you want to choose to do, helping others, or even if you're a smart cookie in your technology, or anything you do, always teach these things to your kids, so that today's children are tomorrow's better citizens. So they need to follow. If you ask me, most of the kids would say, my mom was doing this, my dad was doing this. They always take your parents as first. So if you are a very good example to your family, don't want to worry about it. You will definitely, your kids will be better. And that's a simple thing. I didn't do anything magic or anything. I just, what I was doing, I wanted to do. My kids, family followed, and they are still doing it, and I'm very proud of them.
Absolutely. And even in my book that I wrote, I talked about how a parent is a coach. And I actually talk about the parents are the first educators and the lifetime educators for their children. Before even schools and teachers come in, you
Yes.
remain, regardless of how old your child is. Children, even at the age of 60, I look to my dad for, examples of what he's done in his life. So that is very well said. So, Sai, what are your plans now for the next, for this year?
For this year, I plan on focusing on my studies as I'm in 11th grade, so it's like a crucial grade.
Mm-hmm.
And I plan on still practicing tennis every day as I need to get like my rankings and level up so I can apply to colleges. And again, also creating new projects for youth, like tasty treats. I would like to create something else to gather more youth and to like make a change.
So if any youths are listening to the show and they'd like to be part of what you're doing, how can they, I mean, I assume, do they go to Community Seva, Nathan, and join? Because I don't want Sai to give any contact information out. What would they need to do?
That's right. Yeah, they go to communityseva.org. And in fact, after this stage project was started, more than a dozen Boy Scouts have reached out to us, and they wanted to do, something they're not able to volunteer outside, but this they can do it within their four walls with the family activity, and still you can get involved and give back. So,
And what do you need from listeners right now, Nathan and Sai, for Community Seva, for it to continue and for you to do things every day? What are you looking for? What's the help that our listeners can do? Now everybody's at home. Nobody has an excuse for saying I'm too busy, because nobody can really go anywhere. We're all at home. We all have access to food. We've all become really good chefs because we're all stuck at home. I think cooking has become one of the most popular posts that I see on Facebook. So what do you need from our listeners to take Community Seva to another level?
Definitely, I have two answers. If it is a regular day, no COVID, or the pandemic is over, we love to have you and come and volunteer and participate and give back. But at this time, what only thing we are looking at is the financial support, which is on our website. But otherwise, because we have several COVID-19 response projects, very quickly, the solar power chargers, sleeping drive, feminine kits, hygiene kit, food, name it. We all, we need at this point in time, more than ever, this is the time we need to help. So please, follow us on Facebook and see what we are doing. Keep an eye. We will be calling out for volunteers when the shelter doors are open, and you can come and support us.
Wonderful. And Sai, for the youth, what do you think? Any limitation on age group for youths to come and join your next project, whether it's Tasty Treats or something else?
No, there's no really limit on a youth, like age wise. So since we're in a pandemic, we can't really like meet up like we did for the hygiene or backpacks. So usually what I have a few youth reach out that they want to participate in a Tasty Treat drive. So you can choose any like amount of food you want. It doesn't need to be the ones I chose. So when they send me a list of the foods that they want to choose to put in their bags, and it's all good to go, they can start like raising money, and they can complete the drive at home themselves. So Tasty Treats is like a project where you don't need like all the youth to pack the bags. One person can do it, and they can like be innovative and come up with different foods and different ideas in Tasty Treats and complete this drive.
And what do you think what have been the popular non-perishable items that the homeless people have kind of appreciated, you think is a good suggestion?
Some of the ready-to-eat items they love are like ramen. They like cookies, cereal boxes. I had canned peaches, granola bars, and they like most of those. So, popcorn was another one that they loved.
I'm getting hungry already. Absolutely. Well, I can definitely tell you that it's an honor. I mean, when I sit here and I can listen to somebody who started from the age of 7 thinking about, and you're still continuing at the age of 16 to think about giving back to the community is phenomenal. And Nathan, kudos to you as well for your organization, for Community Seva, for everything that you do. And I really wish you the best of luck, Sai. And, hopefully you can keep maybe through your dad's Facebook or your own Facebook, if you have one, keep posting what you need. And all those listeners out there would be hopefully going to join hands with you and support. Miss Ira, what do you think of my spotlight today?
Well, it is absolutely amazing. It's very inspiring what Nathan started, and what Sai is also doing along with his father. I looked up when they were speaking. I looked up the details in the website, and I'd like to remind our listeners that if you need more information, log on to the website Community Seva. It's Seva with a V, communityseva.org, or log on to the Facebook page of Community Seva and get involved. There are so many ways that Nathan just now said that you could also help contribute. It'll just make you feel better. And also, this is act a random just do a random act of kindness week.
Kindness.
So, this is a great
Yes.
opportunity. Thank you, Ms. Renu, for bringing
No,
Nathan
thank you so
and
much. Thank
Sai
you,
over
Sai.
here.
Thank you, Nathan. Thank you, Misira. Wonderful talking to
ma'am.
all of you.
Thank you
Thank
so much
you.
for this opportunity.
Thank you.
Thank you, everybody. And thank you, listeners and viewers, for tuning in. Remember, if you know somebody who is born to shine, send an email to Ms. Renu, RENNOU, renud@gmail.com. See you next week.